Okay, great.
Hi, welcome to the Tomlyn live session. I'm Tabitha, the marketing manager with Tomlyn, and our special guest today is Paula Gregg with
Hello.
Sweet Purrfections. Paula, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I am Paula Gregg with Sweet Purrfections, and everyone knows me better by truffle and brulee. We have been blogging for 7 years this summer, and I am a recent retiree from education and state government, and actually have a PhD in mathematics education, but now I'm enjoying blogging more with my girls and telling people how to live and learn every day with Persian cats.
That's awesome. So what is your favorite thing about the Persian cats, the breed?
They are beautiful.
Oh,
Our original tagline was Southern Sweet and Sassy.
Uh-huh.
As anybody that meets me knows I can be as nice as can be, but I'm also sassy. The Persians are very soft. They were born in the South. They have that sassy personality with that permanent scowl on them. They have beautiful fur coats, but if you ever get a Persian, you will learn you have to take extra care of them every day.
Oh, okay.
So I try to chronicle the daily lives of my girls and let people see what it takes to keep them beautiful in those long fur coats, the eye problems they have, the hair balls they get, and other issues. But they are a quiet cat. They like to be pampered. They very rarely meow.
Oh,
As
wow.
they do is a small chirp. And I'm gonna be honest, unless they've had an upset stomach, you can put your nose right up their skin and it smells like powder.
Wow.
They are just that soft if you take good care of them. It's just a beautiful breed, but if you ever get a Persian, you need to make sure you know their unique needs.
Okay, that's excellent. How about someone that's looking for Persians for maybe their family? Do you think it's a good fit for children and for other animals, or do you think maybe they're better by themselves?
You know, in my opinion, because the person I got the two girls from had children, it's how you teach children to react around puppies, kittens, dogs, cats. They are playful as kittens. They are a lot of fun. Their skin is very delicate, so you have to be really careful as far as pulling it. I'm not sure I would recommend with a young child, like a toddler,
Yeah.
because they do get so sensitive, and you have to work with Persians to make sure they like to be handled, because you are going to have to groom them on a daily basis, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day.
Wow.
But they are calm cats. The only time I've ever gotten scratched is if I accidentally pulled a mat too hard trying to remove it. And it was just their defense mechanism because I hurt them.
Sure.
And I think they're great cats. Now, the silver-shaded Persians, that's what truffle and brulee are.
Beautiful.
They're different, and they are smaller Persians. Now, you see them. Truffle just recently had her surgery and had a little onesie on, and you saw how small she really was compared to her
Yes,
sister.
the red outfit. Yeah.
And they're actually the same size, but they are really small, and some of them are lap kitties. Mine are lap cats when they want to be. They like to lay around. They will play. Brulee likes to climb tall in a tree. And I think it's with anything. I think it depends on how I think it's good for children to grow up with pets.
I do too.
I grew up with a dog. I love dogs too. I've just been owned by cats the last 40 years. And, cats tell you what to do. And I honestly think they are good cats, family cats, because they are a little bit calmer. But probably a really good cat for adults who know how to live with Persians, to help raise their children, to take care of cats that have unique needs.
That's great. That's an excellent point. Well, so let's talk about your blog.
Okay.
So what do you like to talk about? I understand, the daily lifestyle. Give us some of the tips that you talk about, or some of the things that you go through.
Well, the original blog was designed to be just the chronicle of daily. It was a journaling. I started blogging 10 years ago, this summer. Now, that was with Sweet Praline, my previous Persian. She was known as the diva kitty of the cat blogosphere.
And I love the names, by the way.
Oh, thank you. They're sweet and they're, beautiful. But in the last few years, I'm taking my research background and trying to, with some plot, I still blog every single day. This summer, 7 years of truffle and brulee, and I have never missed a day blogging. Some days it's just a photo. Some days it's something funny to let you leave with a smile.
Yeah.
Other days, like with Truffle's recent situation with stones with her bladder, we're going to now be talking in the next few weeks about that issue with cats, because it does happen. It's brand new for me, the first time ever.
And I saw the stones that you posted. So if you haven't ever seen a stone in an animal, definitely go to her Facebook page. I know that's where I saw it.
They're on the Sweet Purrfections Facebook page, and they're
Yes.
beside a dime.
Yes.
So you can see how large, and they've actually been sent off to, I think it's University of Minnesota, their vet school that actually analyzes the stones
Oh my
to
goodness.
see what type it is. So we are slowly merging and changing the branding to, I am trying to share their daily lives, but also talk about unique things with behavior, nutrition, characteristics. Sue behind me.
We're going to introduce Miss Sue.
Hi, Sue.
Hey, what are we talking
This is
about?
Sue from the Island Cats, one of my
Yes,
best cat
another cat
blogging
lover.
buddies.
What are we talking about, Paula?
We're talking about the blog and what I write about right now.
Perfection.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
such a wonderful blog. Well, I'll let you guys get back to your talking about your blog.
Thank
Another
you.
friend from BlogPaws.
Come on, Dawn. Come over and say hello. Dawn White is one of the ambassadors for BlogPaws this year, and she's a really close friend too from Lola the rescue cat.
Hi.
See, you're getting triple, quadruple the fun today.
It's great. Have fun.
Thanks, Dawn. But now we're trying to go into give a little bit more of things to help people who want to get their first cat or maybe having issues with cats the first time. I mean, I've owned cats, like I said, I've been owned by cats 40 years. And I am now experiencing some things that I have never experienced.
Yes.
And we all, in this age, I admit, guys, I'm a sexagenarian. I'm in my 60s.
But she's beautiful. Beautiful.
But we all now go to the internet to find our information.
Yes.
And I am trying to now move forward with having a research type background on some of the things I write about with health or behavior or nutrition or characteristics, to let people know here's the science behind it, here's the research behind it, here's how we've dealt with it, and here's some things that Mike can help out as we're going through.
Awesome.
So our goal is if you come to us, you're going to appreciate the beauty of the Persians. You'll leave with a smile most days. We hope we can help you laugh sometimes, but also that you will learn about some things. And there are very few bloggers out there. If you're there, please start following us. I'd love to meet you.
Yes.
That actually have Persians that blog about Persians.
Wow.
When I started 10 years ago, there were about 7 or 8 that were on a regular basis. I think I only know of one other right now with Persians. So
my
the cat people love the cats. They don't get to see them often, but they need to know there are some unique things about them.
Well, and it's interesting what you said about the sensitive skin, because I've always owned cats. I love cats. And I did not realize what you were talking about. I've never had a Persian, but I love them. But I didn't realize that they do need to be groomed
Yes.
every day.
And please, guys, do not use scissors to cut out mats. You know,
Let's talk about that. What's
okay.
the best way to get mats out?
It is a challenge. I have gone that I've had a couple of blog posts, there'll be more coming, where I've had to really research the best tool for each cat. They are both unique. Brûlée has the softest cottony fur, but it mats just looking at her.
Aw.
And she is very sensitive. She has been a wiggle worm since day one. Even the first time at the vet tech could not take her temperature because she wiggled too much.
Oh.
And I am slowly working with her. And one of the things I do is, as we're working on some walls, and now we can do her head and her back and her sides, not her belly much yet. And then I always reward her with a treat afterwards.
That's a great idea.
So for Brûlée, I have to use a different type of utensil than I do with Truffle. Brûlée, I have to use more of, we've heard of the Greyhound type steel metal cones.
Yes.
And that gets underneath to that thick undercoating, and it can get there and work. And what you do is, and also I've been growing my fingernails out when I was working all those years. They got in the way. But this allows me to kind of work my fingernails underneath the mat where I can feel separated from the skin. And I found some blunt nose, small grooming scissors. That then you go up, I go up under that mat where I've developed that hole and clip upwards, so then you can kind of separate it.
That's,
All a brush does with her is just spread fur all over the place.
yeah.
Truffle, her fur is a thicker coat, but not that soft downy as Brulee's. Truffle, though, I had to find a longer tine comb. Wonderful company I worked with that let me find that, and she really likes it as I go through there with her, and she does grooming pretty well. The brushes, every once in a while, the top coat doing it. No, I do not give my Persians baths all the time. If you are showing them, they do get baths. They get little bottom baths if they've had, some upset stomach or whatever.
Sure.
But the cats, they're basically good and clean, but they're indoor only. The wire brushes, I don't use those. A lot of groomers that I've read about will use the slicker brushes to brush them. The points I have found are too sharp.
Oh.
And it hurts the girl's skin. They don't react, especially Brulee. They don't like it. A brush just covers the top coat going through. And then with their eyes, they have to, especially Brulee, she's got a little brachycephalic face. And she does have the eye drainage, because if you read about Persians, that brachycephalic, where their noses are a little bit flatter, their big, huge eyes, their tear ducts don't form all the way all the time. And their eyes water more, and it can be allergies too. And so when it drains onto their skin, if it's not clean, then it gets to the creases and bacteria can form. And that's what that redness is you see in Persians. And even light-haired dogs that have the flatter face, that you can see that going through. And so they need to have a soft washcloth. I use baby washcloths for children. Yeah. And warm water, and softly, gently do it. I've found a human, eyebrow type brush. Yeah. If I'm real careful, I can kind of brush underneath their eyes to kind of help remove some of the dry debris. And then there's another product I use that I'm actually a finalist for a Nose to Nose award for it because of the reviews I did.
So here at BlogPaws, they have the Nose to Nose.
And so it's a product I use with her that on a regular basis with the formula and the powder, it helps to keep them clean that way. And so it truly, guys, it is a daily ritual. People tell me all the time, even some Persian breeders, which I've been, that show their cats, your cats always look so well groomed. I said, well, it's a daily job. And to believe it or not, the only place they really allow me to groom them is when I'm in the bedroom and in the bed. Because they feel comfortable there. So I have to be willing to live with fur.
That's okay. That's why we love cats.
I told you more than you wanted to know.
No, that's perfect. Well, tell us about the different social sites that you're on that they can come in and visit you.
The blog, of course, is Sweet Purrfections with a PURR.blogspot.com. They have a Facebook page. Just look up Sweet Purrfections. They have a Twitter account, and it's at Truffle_Brulee. They have an Instagram account under Sweet Purrfections. They have a Pinterest account under Sweet Purrfections, but we're not using that as much. I use that more to find my fingernail designs. See the Southern Sweet and Sassy. And so we do that. Our biggest thing is the blog and Facebook, probably.
Okay.
We do the Twitter at times, participate in some Twitter chats and some things that way, but they are on social media. They have their unique voices. And but like I said, if you want to see us daily, you can always find us on our blog post.
Awesome. Good deal. Well, you mentioned earlier that we're here at BlogPaws.
Right.
So tell us why you come to BlogPaws.
One of the first things about BlogPaws is the networking. As I said, I have been blogging for 10 years this summer. And what's happening with social media now, and I'm a former educator. I taught middle school math, and I was a college professor. So I'm used to face-to-face communicating, the personal interaction. Kids and young adults don't get that now because they're in social media. You never really know the people behind the blogs.
Right.
You may finally start communicating through an email or through whatever, but getting here, you find, oh, as you just saw, you're Wally and Ernie's and whatever's mom, and you get to really know the people. So the networking helps. Then meeting the brands, products that you've gone to the stores yourself. Which ones should I use? Which ones have you tried it? Or which ones, like I came to y'all to talk to you, and they said, look what you let me try. I had to use it, and it was perfect. And so you meet the brands, you make some connections there that help out both me with my cats, and to help my readers know what can you use that might be effective. And then the learning. Like I said, I was in education and government for 40 plus years. I was not in graphic design. I was not a public relations person. I was not in advertising. So a lot of this is new to me. And my philosophy is you're never too old to learn.
That's right.
You know, you can always learn. I want to take some classes to learn some things more about this type of thing. So you get those things going on and just meeting the different people. And in many ways, it's a way to get away from the daily lives of being home. And like I said, being retired, I'm trying to adjust to a new lifestyle. And just being around all the action, and I'm very much an extrovert. I love meeting people.
Me too.
And so there's so much about it with BlogPaws. I love to come. This is my 4th BlogPaws conference.
Awesome. Wow.
And I was an ambassador in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina last year.
Wow.
And so it's just a great group of people. And I'm
It
looking
is.
forward to seeing the connections as they go forward with Chewy.com.
Yes, great. That's so awesome. Well, you mentioned earlier too about you're nominated for the Nose to Nose
Yes.
award. So tell us which award and for what.
I was so pleased this year. It's the first time to be nominated as a finalist for the best written blog post for a sponsored post.
Wow.
And it was a sponsored post I did with iIndy, which I just told you about with their eye clearance. And so I am very honored to be with 3 other great bloggers in that category. We'll find out tonight who wins.
Yes, well, congratulations
Thank
and good
you.
luck. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Well, you also mentioned earlier there's a couple of the Tomlyn products
Yes.
that you like to use. Do you want to talk about those?
Sure. The very first one, before I even knew about it,
Different flavors.
and they've it's changed the look and the flavors and all of this before. But when I got well, the treats I was going to bring later because that came later. But the gel, of course, I never knew it was from Tomlyn originally. I'd always been hearing my very first cat. I mean, I grew up with dogs. I remember walking to the house one day and seeing this thing on the floor and said, what in the world is this on the floor? And now, my husband at the time said, oh, that's a hairball. I said, what is a hairball? Well, my first cat didn't get a lot. She was shorter hair. My first Persian praline, oh gosh, yes, she had hairballs. Everybody said, try Laxatone. And so I got, and it is, if you look in there, you'll see Laxatone is under there.
Right there.
And it was only one flavor at the time. We're talking back in the 1995 or so when I first started doing something. And praline didn't like the flavor at that time. I literally would have to lay her on her back, pry open her mouth, and put a swab of the gel on my finger and swab it in the back of her tongue for her to swallow it. But it worked. With truffle and brulee coming, the very first time they came out the catnip flavor, which is I'm holding up, they literally, I open it up, and of course this is, I'm hopefully sealed, but I can squeeze it, and they are licking from the top of it.
Oh,
they
wow.
like it. Well, they've gotten finicky as they've gotten older, just like all women do. We get a little bit more feisty. And so now they have the hairball chews. The girls love it. Now, these, to be honest, they're a little bit large for my girls. So I actually break it in pieces. So I just have to make sure I keep one in one hand for truffle and one in the other hand for brulee. And they get it in smaller pieces that way. But this is working for them too, and they know it's a treat. They love it as we go through. The other thing that I just recently tried for the first time ever, and I heard about it because I do watch My Cat from Hell with Jackson Galaxy.
Oh, yes, Jackson.
And I was lucky a year ago to meet him in person at Global Pet Expo and actually interview him with some things. And now I find out he's, been promoting, and he talked about giving cats, you've read all these funny stories, and I have a funny blog post about the battle of giving pill and brulee. And it would kind of end, first round, score, brulee 1, Mom Paula 0. And we went about 6 rounds before I finally had to end up smashing it up into a syringe and squirting it in the back of her mouth. But watching Jackson Galaxy one night, he talked about this pill masker. And I said, oh, I don't know what that is, because the pill pockets didn't work, all this. So I was at Global just a few weeks ago and was talking to the wonderful people at Tomlyn. And I was telling them, about my issues, and they said, well, try this. Little did I know I was going to come home that very next week and have the emergency surgery with Truffle and have to put her on antibiotics. And I said, well, let's try this. Guys, as soon as I opened this lid, and Truffle was sick, not feeling one hurting, her nose went right down into it and wanted to start eating it. Now, I gave her a little piece of it first. It is just a paste. You can get any kind of size. And just the smell of it, she immediately ate it. So I wrapped it around her peel, ate it with no problem. So even when I had to leave her at the vet this week because she developed an infection from her surgery, I was telling him, I said, yeah, I've been doing a new product, pill masker from Tomlyn. He said, yeah, Tomlyn's got really good products. So my vet knows about you.
Good, yay.
And he said, please, when you bring back her stuff, bring the pill masker too to make her pills easier.
Wow.
So those are the main things that I have used long-term basis and new basis. There are some new products you shared with me. One, and I haven't tried it yet, but she just gave me the NutriCal because Truffle is not eating since her surgery, and she's going to change her diet. Brulee is being finicky, so we're hoping, and they've lost some weight, so we're hoping this may help get them back, get some of the nutrients they're missing when I get home.
Yes. And they're missing Mommy, so as soon as
Mommy's
gets home,
missing them.
They'll be fine. Oh, let's see. Thank you, Mackenzie and Jen. Hello. And I think Brittany and Amanda. Hello, guys.
Do they get hairballs at all? I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. That we had. I live in the South, as if you can't tell from the dialect. We actually had a cold winter this year. They got very thick coats. I would come home in the afternoon or walk down the hallway. It looked like a cotton ball field in the hallway because of the fur. They were throwing up a lot of hairballs. I groom them. I try to get all the fur off, but they are very finicky about. They know they're beautiful. They want to keep their fur that way.
Sure.
So yes, they get fur balls, and sometimes, a couple of weeks ago, that's what I thought was wrong with Truffle. I thought she had a blockage from fur because she had had so many hairballs.
Sure.
So yes, they do get them. Maybe more so than some other cats.
Yes. Wow. Well, is there anything else that you would like to add?
I just want to tell everybody hello, all my friends at BlogPaws. I've learned so much from them. The vendors, Tomlyn for being so helpful and saving my life just a couple of weeks ago with the pills. Because I'm anxious to see how it's going to work with Brulee. I'm not wanting to give her a pill anytime soon.
Sure.
But hopefully it will work. To the wonderful cat bloggers who've supported me these 10 years of blogging.
Yes.
They've been there when I lost my previous cat, Praline. They helped me. To the people behind the scenes that work at BlogPaws, who have helped me with improving the blog, have become friends. They've been nurturing and helping out. To the dog bloggers I've met. You know, even though I grew up with dogs the first 20 years of my life, I haven't been around them really for 40 years. And so I'm learning from them, and they are helping me to help my parents and other family members who have dogs with things that are going on. And just come visit us anytime. I hope you enjoy us as we go through. And I've just got to say, Truffle and Brulee say, come see us.
And it's Sweet Purrfections.
I think we have another question that came
Paula
up.
of Sweet Purrfections.
I'm so glad that the pill masker has been. It definitely was a miracle, Amanda. The pill masker was wonderful.
Good, good. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.